And we begin this broadcast with our focus on the state of Kerala, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be leading a high-decibel campaign for NDA candidates ahead of the April 9 Kerala Assembly elections. Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to address a public rally at Fort Maidan in Palakkad at around 2:30 today, where thousands of party workers and senior BJP leaders are expected to be in attendance. Following the rally, the Prime Minister will also travel to Thrissur to hold a roadshow in the heart of the city, centered around a key area. He will also be received by Union Minister Suresh Gopi and other party leaders upon his arrival. And this is a visit that is being seen as a key campaign push by the NDA as the dates of polling come near. Now, Thrissur and Palakkad, they're emerging as important electoral battlegrounds in the state. My colleague Pratibha is with us, and she's been crisscrossing across the state. But Pratibha, you've also covered Palakkad. You spoke to people there. You spoke to politicians. For viewers joining us on this broadcast, give us a broad overview, one, of why this election in Kerala is so important. Why is it different this time? And also, why is Palakkad so important for the NDA?
So, Sagarika, it's a very interesting choice, the two places that have been picked by Prime Minister Modi to begin his campaign in the BJP in the, as the election heat continues. Palakkad in particular, where he will be first, is of course one location where the BJP has performed really well. It may not have won a seat there, but this is one region where the BJP has performed well. In the 2021 elections as well, while the entire region, usually across Kerala, it is a direct fight between the LDF and the UDF. Palakkad is one region where in fact, it was the BJP that came in a close second, and it also polled over 35% of the voting. It has been a similar pattern in the Lok Sabha elections as well, and interestingly in the Assembly elections as well, which is not very common in Kerala, where the BJP does not have a very strong presence. So the Prime Minister is going to be in Palakkad first. We had the Metroman Sridharan last time around. It's also one region that has been in a lot of controversy. You'd remember, the Congress leader that we have from there, Rahul Mamkootattil, has been in the news. So it will be interesting to see whether the Prime Minister makes a mention of that, because he has been speaking of women's safety. Another constituency that he will be in is also Thrissur. Interesting constituency. The lone BJP MP comes from that very constituency, Suresh Gopi, and he will be campaigning with Padmaja Venugopal, a veteran Congress leader. Daughter. He was the former chief minister, synonymous with the Congress party in Kerala, but now his daughter, Padmaja Venugopal, has shifted to the BJP. So he will be speaking about how those who have been with the Congress party don't identify with the party anymore, and there has been a shift towards the BJP. So these are the two locations where he will be visiting. Palakkad is also a region where the RSS is also very active, and these two regions, like you mentioned, is going to be very interesting, and it has been picked by the BJP for these particular regions because it has seen a surge in the BJP votes in the last few elections.
Right, and Pratibha, stay with us because we are decoding why Palakkad and Thrissur today is so important. One, the Prime Minister is going to visit, and for the NDA too, it's looking to expand its footprint. There is a sense of confidence in the BJP in Kerala. Why? And now, viewers, my colleague Arpita is also with us, and Arpita has been speaking to politicians, getting us newsmakers here and exclusive conversations with them here on Times Now. The 2026 Kerala Assembly elections, which is scheduled for 9th and the results expected on the 4th of May, is important because it comes at a moment of political flux in the state that has traditionally been seen as a straight fight between two alliances. The ruling LDF, which won a strong mandate in 2021, is now facing anti-incumbency. Now, Arpita, one conversation that has been dominating the political discourse in the state is the allegation of B team. Who is whose B team? The LDF says it is the UDF, which is the BJP's B team. The UDF says the LDF is the B team. Now, amidst all of these charges flying thick and fast, what is so different about Kerala polls this time?
Well, Sagarika rightly mentioned this time, Congress and CPM, they're alleging that each other are B teams of BJP, and BJP is taking advantage of that, and they're saying that one thing is clear, both the parties have made it clear that the A team is BJP and the fight is for who is the B team of BJP. Now, when we talk about Palakkad and Thrissur, after the dates of the elections were announced, this is the first time that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Kerala. And first, he will be going to Palakkad. Now, see, for BJP, Palakkad and Thrissur, both the seats are very important. Like Pratibha mentioned, in 2016 and in 2021, in Palakkad, BJP emerged in the second position, which was a big surprise for them. So this time, what BJP is saying is that they are eyeing for winning the seat. And Shobha Surendran, who they have fielded from Palakkad, is a very popular figure among Keralites, and in fact in BJP also she's a tall leader.
Right.
So BJP is aiming to win Palakkad seat along with Congress's Rahul Mamkottal issue. BJP is confident that this time it is going to be in their favor. And like in Thrissur, because they won the Lok Sabha polls, Suresh Gopi became the MP from Thrissur. They are hoping that even the Thrissur seat is very important for them. Again, Padmaja Venugopal, who's the daughter of veteran leader Karunakaran, she recently moved to BJP, and that again BJP is saying that they're very confident that they will win in Thrissur. So that is why the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also heavily campaigning in Palakkad and Thrissur. Other than that, one seat is Nemam in Thiruvananthapuram, which Rajiv Chandrasekhar, the state president himself, is contesting there.
Right. So
BJP is hoping this time they will win about 10 to 12 seats. It's what BJP state president Rajiv Chandrasekhar said.
Let me go across to Pratibha. Pratibha, the BJP, like we've been talking about, is looking confident this time. And there is a reason. Because, yes, there have been electoral victories for the BJP in the last few months and in the last few polls that we've seen. Not talking about assembly elections, obviously, talking about the kind of imprint that the BJP has been increasing. Palakkad, which is a border district with Tamil Nadu, has mixed demography, has emerged as one of the few regions in Kerala where the BJP is showing competitiveness. In the recent elections itself, it is making it very important for NDA's expansion push. But I also want to talk to you about what the Prime Minister has been talking about over the last few days. Yes, the war in West Asia remains a focus, and let's also remember there are a lot of people from Kerala who work in Gulf countries. Do you think this will find a mention in the Prime Minister's address today?
Absolutely, Sagrika. In fact, as we have been speaking to a lot of voters as well, this has been a lot of concern. More importantly, the situation currently, and also a long-term solution, because there has been so much migration, and remittance economy is something that Kerala is proud of. But for the people there, for the families, this is a very big issue that their family members have gone outside the country, outside the state, looking for jobs. So this is one of the biggest issues. The Prime Minister, like you mentioned, also has a very special connect to these countries. He has spoken to the leaders of these countries, and he has always spoken about the special place that these countries have. He has spoken about the strong presence of the Indian community there. So that could also find a mention in places like Kerala, where it has a very emotional touch as well. And for the BJP, like you mentioned, yes, there has been a big surge. The Prime Minister has visited Kerala multiple times, and on the grassroots levels as well, there has been an increase for the BJP, the footprint in the urban area especially. One of the other issues that the Prime Minister could also be speaking about, not to these regions specifically, but an issue that connects with people across Kerala, is the issue of Sabarimala, which the BJP has picked up time and again, talking about faith and how it's important. In the Hindu community as well, from the left, has the vote shifted towards the BJP? That's going to be very, very interesting to see. Caste equations also have a very interesting way of playing out in the state of Kerala. So where the Nair and the Iruva votes are going to go, that's going to be very, very important. There has been a very consistent outreach towards the Christian community as well for the BJP. So these are all the points that the Prime Minister could be looking at. In Palakkad, of course, there's going to be a public rally that he's going to be holding. But in Thrissur, there's also going to be a road show. It's going to be interesting to see, because in the Lok Sabha, the BJP has fared well. So how is it going to be in Thrissur? The crowds that are going to come up, all of that is going to be very important. And whether he will make a visit to Guruvayur, speak to the people from the region, that's going to be something to watch out for.
Yes, very, very interesting, and all eyes are going to be on the Prime Minister's Kerala visit. Pratibha, you're breaking down the significance, telling us about the issues that could play make or break for all sides in Kerala, Sabarimala being a very important one. Now, I want you to stay with us, because let's listen into how political parties are reacting to the Prime Minister's visit today. We have a reaction coming in from Shashi Tharoor of the Congress Party, followed by Tom Vadakkan of the BJP.
I know he's here. Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan is also in Palakkad today. It looks like we're all in the same district, but unfortunately in different parts of the district. All I can say is let them all come. Ultimately, even if people like Mr. Modi, they know he's not going to come here and be their MLA. Who is going to represent the voices and needs of the people. That's not going to be Mr. Modi, nor is it going to be Pinarayi Vijayan. It's going to be local.
Prime Minister's roadshow in Thrissur around the Swaraj round will be a major attraction in the Thrissur constituency. His magic wand has worked across the state of Kerala. We find the Congress being critical on the Chief Minister. The point is, Congress is a rudderless party, has no claim to fame other than their infighting. So that's why they adopt these diversionary tactics.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also posted on social media platform X. He spoke about what the mood is like in Kerala. The Prime Minister today said that the mood in Kerala is in favor of the NDA, and he also said that people are fed up of the poor governance of the LDF and the UDF. In his Mann Ki Baat address, the Prime Minister put the focus on the war in West Asia, and many are expecting that to be a key undercurrent as the Prime Minister visits Kerala today, a state that has deep links to Gulf nations. According to government estimates and Kerala migration surveys, over 2 million people from Kerala live and work in West Asian countries, forming a significant share of Indian diaspora in the region. With that, it's time for us to slip into a short commercial break. We'll be back with more news and updates, but before we take a short break, listen to what the Prime Minister said in his Mann Ki Baat address, putting the focus on the war in West Asia.
साथियों, निश्चित तौर पर यह चुनौतीपूर्ण समय है। मैं आज मन की बात के माध्यम से सभी देशवासियों से फिर यह आग्रह करूंगा कि हमें एकजुट होकर इस चुनौती से बाहर निकलना है। जो लोग इस विषय पर भी राजनीति कर रहे हैं, उन्हें राजनीति नहीं करनी चाहिए। यह देश के 140 करोड़ देशवासियों के हित से जुड़ा विषय है। इसमें स्वार्थ भरी राजनीति का कोई स्थान नहीं है। ऐसे में जो भी लोग अफवाह फैला रहे हैं, वे देश का बहुत बड़ा नुकसान कर रहे हैं। मैं सभी देशवासियों से अपील भी करूंगा कि वो जागरूक रहे, अफवाहों के बहकावे में न आए। सरकार की तरफ से जो आपको निरंतर जानकारी दी जा रही है, उस पर भरोसा करें और उसी पर विश्वास करके कोई कदम उठाए। मुझे हर बार की तरह इस बार भी विश्वास है कि जैसे हमने देश के 140 करोड़ देशवासियों के सामर्थ्य से पुराने संकटों को हराया था, इस बार भी हम सब मिल करके इस कठिन हालत से बहुत ही अच्छी तरह बाहर निकल जाएंगे।